Some ancient churches do not begin at their front doors. Their real stories begin under the floor, inside the rock, or behind centuries of silence. Walk down the right staircase, and time seems to reverse. Medieval stone gives way to Rome. Christian worship gives way to older ritual rooms. That does not mean every church hides a forbidden cult. The truth is stranger and often more powerful. Sacred places accumulate layers. Across 5 extraordinary sites, archaeology, geography, abandonment, and legend collide until it becomes difficult to see where documented history ends and mystery begins. In Rome, a basilica stands over another church, which stands over Roman buildings, one of them containing a Mithraic sanctuary. In France, a chapel rises on an 82-meter volcanic needle that once could be climbed only by the most agile men. At Ani, an abandoned medieval capital watches a ravine on the frontier, its churches surviving where caravans, rulers, and entire populations vanished. And in Spain and Scotland, unusual geometry and dense stone carving have become magnets for stories of Templars, secret codes, and lost knowledge. The question is not whether every legend is true. The question is why these places make legends feel almost inevitable. Our first descent begins in Rome, only a short distance from the Colosseum, at the Basilica of San Clemente. At street level, the present basilica is a masterpiece of the 12th century. Mosaic, marble, ordered space, and confident Christian symbolism. But the building asks you to do something unusual for a church. Instead of looking only upward, it invites you down. Below the present church lies a 4th century basilica, abandoned when the upper church was constructed above it in the Middle Ages. Its surviving frescoes date across centuries. In the darkness, medieval images remain attached to walls that the city simply built over. The descent is already disorienting. You are inside a church, beneath a church, surrounded by art made before the building above existed. Then another staircase goes deeper, beneath the 4th century church, into Roman buildings from the 1st century. Here, in a semi-subterranean gallery of a Roman house, a 2nd century Mithraic temple was installed. Mithraism was an initiatory cult that spread through the Roman Empire and attracted followers in military and urban communities. The sanctuary was designed for a small group, not a crowd. Low benches faced a central aisle, creating an intimate, controlled ritual space. On the altar, the familiar image of Mithras slaying the bull survives in stone, a central symbol of the cult's sacred imagery. It is tempting to call this a secret chamber. In one sense, it was. Mithraic worship was restricted to initiates and practiced away from public temples. But there is no evidence that medieval Christians built San Clemente as a prison for the old religion or to trap something below. The stronger story is visible in the walls themselves. Rome repeatedly changed, and every generation inherited structures it could reuse. A Roman house became a place of Mithraic worship. Above it, Christian space developed. Later, a medieval basilica arose higher still. This is not a hidden world because someone failed to erase it. It is hidden because cities survive by building over themselves. Even the sound changes below San Clemente. Water from ancient Rome can still be heard moving around the foundations. For a visitor, the effect is almost theatrical. Each staircase removes a century, then another, until the present feels temporary. San Clemente proves something important before we travel anywhere else. Sacred history is often vertical, but our next site reverses the direction. In France, the mystery is not beneath the church. It is the impossible height beneath it. Saint-Michel de Will stands on the remains of an ancient volcanic chimney, a narrow column of rock rising 82 meters above the town. The rock itself began forming millions of years ago, when volcanic activity occurred in a landscape shaped by water. By the 10th century, the formation presented a brutally simple problem. The summit was sacredly attractive and physically difficult to reach. Local accounts preserved by the site describe the summit as a place that only agile men could climb before an access route was created. The Dean Truanus sought permission from Bishop Godescalc to build an oratory there, and the chapel was consecrated in 961. Before walls could rise, access had to be made. Every block, tool, and worker had to conquer the rock before construction even began. The first oratory was Roman-inspired and covered by a dome, small in scale but enormous in visual ambition. From below, the chapel appears less like a building placed on rock and more like the final stone of the mountain itself. St. Michael was frequently associated with elevated places, and here the symbolism is impossible to miss: guardian, height, danger, and sky. As pilgrims increased, the sanctuary expanded near the end of the 11th century, turning a tiny oratory into a more complex chapel. Today, visitors climb 268 steps. The number is ordinary on paper. On the rock, it becomes part of the architecture of belief. Claims of druids and ancient astronomical rites are often attached to the site, but firm evidence for those specific stories is limited. The proven mystery is already enough. In 961, people chose the least convenient summit and transformed access itself into a spiritual experience. St. Clemente hides time beneath the earth. Saint-Michel makes you climb through space. Our third place does something more unsettling. It empties an entire city. Ani lies on a secluded plateau in northeastern Turkey, overlooking a ravine that forms a natural frontier with Armenia. Its position helped sustain settlement for almost 2,500 years. The plateau was defensible, fertile valleys lay nearby, and Silk Road routes passed through the region. In the 10th and 11th centuries, Ani became the capital of the Bagratid Armenian kingdom and one of the great crossroads of its age. Caravans arrived with goods, languages, news, and money. Power did not merely pass through Ani. For a time, it settled there. The city combined religious, residential, and military architecture, shaped over centuries by Christian and later Muslim dynasties. Its reputation became inseparable from churches. Later tradition gave Ani the famous name, the city of 1,001 churches. The number was poetic, not a census. But the surviving ruins explain why the phrase endured. Imagine the sound when Ani was alive: bells, hooves, workshops, bargaining voices, liturgy, and caravan traffic crossing stone streets. Now remove almost every voice. Ani's decline came through political change, invasion, and disaster. UNESCO identifies the Mongol invasion and the devastating earthquake of 1319 as major turning points. The city did not vanish in one cinematic night. Decline is slower than legend. Routes change, rulers change, repairs stop, families leave. That slow disappearance may be more disturbing than any ghost story because the buildings remain large enough to show what was lost. Stories about strange sounds and voices circulate around abandoned ruins like Ani. They belong to the modern mythology of empty places, not established archaeology. But stand among broken arches while wind moves through stone, and you understand why silence creates its own explanations. The historical record tells us about kingdoms and earthquakes. The landscape gives a different impression, a city interrupted mid-sentence. Ani is the point where documented history and emotional mystery meet. Nothing supernatural is required for the place to feel haunted by absence. Our fourth site is far smaller, but uncertainty is built into its shape. Santa María de Eunate stands alone in the fields of Navarre. Built in the late 12th century, Eunate is Romanesque, compact, and immediately unusual. Its plan is a slightly irregular octagon. An external arcade surrounds the church, creating a second ring of arches around the central building. Geometry gives Eunate its first mystery. Documentation gives it the second. Its original function and founders have been debated for generations. Because of its octagonal form, writers once connected Eunate to the Knights Templar and to centrally planned sacred buildings linked with Jerusalem. The theory became famous. The documents did not follow. An official history of Navarre notes that no document has been found linking Eunate to the order of the temple. Other interpretations have described it as a funerary chapel or a place connected with pilgrims on the road to Santiago. Burials were found around the arcade, and one grave near the entrance included a pilgrim shell. Later records show a confraternity connected with Santa María de Eunate, and the site became a place of devotion, gathering, and burial. The Celtic sanctuary story, often repeated online, is much harder to support. The landscape is old. That does not automatically make every stone pre-Christian. Yet the lack of a simple origin story is exactly what keeps Eunate alive in the imagination. When an unusual building survives, but its earliest paperwork does not, absence becomes a blank wall. People begin writing stories on it. And nowhere has that process become more famous than our final chapel, 7 miles south of Edinburgh. Rosslyn Chapel was founded in 1446 by Sir William St. Clair as a family chapel. It was still incomplete when he died in 1484. His son roofed the choir, but the original grand design was never completed. What survives is smaller than the founder may have intended. Inside, however, the stone is almost overwhelmingly dense with carving. Faces, plants, biblical scenes, angels, and strange forms occupy surfaces that another building might have left plain. The famous apprentice pillar twists upward with elaborate stonework, visually powerful enough to generate a legend of its own. Green men appear repeatedly in the chapel, human faces entangled with leaves, a medieval motif that has invited endless interpretation. The carvings are real. The universal code that supposedly explains all of them is not. Over the centuries, Rosslyn became linked in popular imagination with Freemasonry, the Templars, the Holy Grail, and hidden knowledge. Those associations became global after Dan Brown's novel The Da Vinci Code was published in 2003 and later adapted for film. The chapel's own official history acknowledges the power of its mysterious symbolism and the enormous effect the story had on worldwide interest. But popularity can reverse the direction of evidence. Once people expect a secret, every carving begins to look like a clue. Rosslyn's genuine history is already dramatic. An ambitious family chapel, unfinished plans, Reformation decline, damage, restoration, and modern conservation. After the Reformation, the chapel fell into disrepair. In 1650, tradition says Cromwell's troops even stabled horses inside. The chapel was rededicated in 1862. A century later, conservation problems threatened the very stone that made it famous. Humidity, previous repairs, and weather required a major conservation project. The mystery survived because the building itself nearly did not. This may be the most important pattern in all 5 places. The physical site is fragile, but stories can become stronger as evidence becomes incomplete. San Clemente gives us documented layers, a medieval basilica, an earlier church, Roman buildings, and a Mithraic sanctuary below. Saint-Michel gives us a documented feat of placement, a 10th century sanctuary raised on a volcanic needle after access itself had to be created. Ani gives us an entire capital reduced to monumental absence, where the silence of abandoned architecture becomes fuel for legend. Eunate shows what uncertainty can do. A rare octagonal church with limited early documentation becomes a magnet for Templar and esoteric theories. Rosslyn shows the modern version, real carvings, genuine complexity, and a worldwide appetite for one hidden code that could explain everything. So were ancient churches built to imprison older powers beneath them? In the places we examined, the evidence does not support that sweeping claim. But the less sensational truth may be more extraordinary. Human beings repeatedly returned to powerful landscapes and inherited structures, then gave them new meanings. A house can become a sanctuary. A sanctuary can disappear beneath a basilica. A capital can become grass and stone. An impossible summit can become a destination. An unusual octagon can become a legend. A chapel can become a global symbol of mystery. Stone does not preserve one story. It preserves collisions between stories. And perhaps that is why these churches feel different when we enter them. We are never standing in only one century. The next time you walk into a very old church, look up at the vaults. Then remember to look down. Because beneath sacred stone, behind abandoned walls, and inside carved symbols, the past is never completely silent.